everyone. Welcome to Heart Chakra Medium. Thank you so much for being here. I welcome your presence. I welcome your heart's desire. And I welcome your departed deceased loved ones who's here with us today, who wants to speak to you. Go ahead and settle in, connect to your heart, connect to the space, connect to the reading, and most importantly, connect to your departed loved ones. My channel is here to support you with grief and healing. May this reading bring you the comfort, the clarity, and the closure that you may need today. I want to invite you you can pause the video if you'd like before we start with the reading. I would like to invite you to bring in an item that allows you to feel deeply connected with your loved ones. So not only will I be your medium today, but to also strengthen how you are communicating and staying in contact with your departed loved ones, if that is indeed what you would like to accomplish. If you would like to open yourself up to where it's true, your physical human experience with your loved ones has changed because their physical body is not here anymore. But this weekend, at least for me, specifically my departed loved ones, they were speaking to me about they were giving me an analogy as I am struggling with grief about I cannot experience certain things with them anymore, that they're encouraging me about their consciousness being still alive. So the analogy that they provided is that, so we're all born, most of us, majority of us, have all our limbs, our hands, our senses. We can see, we can hear, we can taste, and so forth. We can feel. And for whatever reason, certain situations happen where we either cannot hear anymore, cannot see, or parts of our limbs is not operating anymore. It's dead. There's no life to it. It's that where, in an analogy of a person losing their sight or losing their hearing or sense of taste or touch, that part is gone. That experience is gone for sure. But the consciousness is still alive. That person is still there who cannot talk or who cannot walk, who cannot hear or see maybe, but they're still there. So I don't know if that is helping some of you. It certainly brought a lot of comfort for me this weekend. So I wanted to share that with you and see if you connect to it. So as we get ready to transition and get into the reading, this is Evidential Mediumship. So I'm strengthening and developing this ability, this desire, this skill to keep in contact with my loved ones and communicate for others as well. So Evidential Mediumship, I would like your loved ones to communicate through me informations that I wouldn't otherwise learn unless they are sharing it with me. So hopefully as safe as it can be to share, but share specific information that the two of you share to validate, to provide evidence that they are here and they are communicating and wanting to stay in contact with you. So I did a poll this week, and I appreciate each of you who continue to interact with me in the comments and engage with me here in the community. It does help, at least for me, to share that grief with others who maybe are going through it as well. So thank you. So for the poll, the one that won on the poll is you want to hear from just anybody that comes through, and really that is a good place to start. I honor desire, but it's a good place to just allow anyone who may want to speak and communicate. So I'm going to try I'm going to attempt to create 3 spaces, 3 different readings with this particular reading. And the first one would be for anyone that comes through. The second one would be for those who are wanting to hear from your mother, if your mother had passed and deceased. And the third one would be for your spouse, for those whose spouse had passed on and deceased. Yeah. So let's see here. So if you would like to go ahead and go to the timestamp, you can go ahead and do that. Or for those who are willing to continue to stay with me and hang out with me, I appreciate you. Thank you for your presence. So we can, well, actually, you can just choose from those specifics that I provided for you. But I am also, if you want to hear, sometimes we're drawn just to the message. And we get to a particular thing that we chose and we're like, oh, I don't have a connection there. But if you just want to choose based on the message, yeah, there you go. Then let me set up a oracle crystal for you now. It's beautiful. All right. Once again, if you just want to choose based on a message you want to hear, because the message for you can come through anyone really. So if you want to choose just to hear the message, then you can choose with the oracle crystal. Group 1, group 2, and 3. I'll see you in your readings. Hello, group 1. If you want to hear from anyone that comes through, this is the reading that you've selected. Welcome to your mediumship reading, to hear from your departed loved ones and anyone that wants to come through. And if you selected this just to hear the message, you've selected this oracle crystal, then welcome to this space as well. Go ahead and open up yourself so that you also can receive a message that may be specific to you and it may not come through to me. And you selected the garnet oracle crystal. It says down here, get into your depth. Ooh, love that. Okay, there are a set of oracle cards here that we'll look at towards the end. So we will start with the connection point and any evidence that anyone that wants to come through wants to reveal about themselves, so that you know you can identify who is coming through. So I have a female energy that's coming through, and she is talking a lot and using her hands a lot. So to some, she identify as an Italian, but she could also signify any female that you may know who had passed, who talks a lot, seems very talkative, charismatic, energetic, and she's using her hands a lot to talk. It also feels to me that this female energy, she is a female energy, and she is a female, it seems to me also that not only is she talks a lot just as a normal individual, but she could also be a speaker, a teacher even. So she has a public standing is what I'm sensing. public standing where she's using her speech and speak a lot in her hands. I continue to see a feminine energy and feel. It feels to me that this person had passed and she's not married, but she was in a relationship. She's not married, but she was in a relationship. And to some, it feels like she was actually engaged. I'm now being shown a child. So I feel that there is a child that's coming through about toddler's age. Toddler's age. Young child that is coming through. I feel that any child in their circle of family, this child is just the cutest, but this child is being shown to me as truly loved by all, loved by many, and missed a lot by many. The child is real chunky, so looks really healthy but chunky, but also just seems like an easy kid, like an easy child to be around with. I now have an older female coming through. There's a lot of feminine energy. Female coming through. She appears to me like a grandma, and I'm seeing that she's got a cane, so it looks like she has passed on in her older age, but it doesn't appear to me that she's passed with an illness. It was just age. She passed because she was old. She's gotten old. Yeah, I see wrinkles on her face, gray hair. She's real thin as well. Thin and short. Maybe I'm seeing maybe 5 feet, 5'5", right around there. And she's wearing, it looks like, well, her feet is out in the open, and it looks like looks like a sandals, but also she's got like kind of tannish brownish skin tone, so it appears to me that maybe she's from another country, a grandma energy from another country. So it does feel like she is an immigrant and she migrated here to the US. I'm now seeing a group of family that seems to be traveling. So as it continues, it seems like there is a group of family that is a group of people that is now on the other side, who has transitioned, who had passed and departed, but a lot of them had migrated to US or migrated to another country. There is a movement that I'm being shown, a movement of energy. I'm seeing a husband and wife, and I'm seeing a lot of children with them first, and then I'm seeing just the two of them now. So there is an energy of a husband and wife who's passed on and deceased, and it seems like they have left children, not just a kid. A husband and wife had passed on and they have left their children. So I'm seeing a tree. I don't know if that alone is significant to anybody, but I'm seeing a tree, and as it speaks to me, I feel that what's coming through is not just people that you may know, but people above the people that had passed on that you know, not to the level that you've met them, but relatives of you and maybe generations before those that had passed on that you knew are coming through, who want to speak through this group and this space. So we are, I'm going to leave those for the connection point. Once again, those are just connection point. They may or may not connect to you. But if you are drawn here for the message piece, I invite you to open up to the particular message. So what I am sensing and hearing here for this group, with all that I've been shown that's here, that's coming through, they are wanting to speak to about family. They're wanting to speak to about growth and depth and strengthening family bonds and family connection. Some of you, your families are wanting to reach out to you, and you either want to respond or you haven't responded. You just haven't felt the urge and the necessity or the need to want to attend to that families or family member. So your family that are on the other side is wanting to encourage you to allow yourself to, if there's reconciliation that needs to be made, to go ahead and allow yourself to that. Allow healing to unfold and allow healing to take place. If forgiveness needs to be said, to allow that to be said and to be received, and to build again. One day at a time, one step at a time, one meeting, one conversation at a time. Some of you, your family on the other side knows that there's been a lot of pain that's been done, and it almost feels like it's not worth it to even try again. But you're yearning for a family and a connection with your flesh and blood. And at the time of this reading, we're approaching the busiest holiday season, in my opinion. But the holiday back to back, that is a reminder of either if you do have a good family connection, or that if you feel that is something you don't have. So as Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year is approaching, your family on the other side is letting you know to hold on to whatever hope that you have, that any opportunity could be the opportunity to mend and heal your family connection. And then for those who actually do have some relationship, some connection that is enough where you feel like you can share space with your family and relatives. Your family on the other side is really wanting to let you know that they're really happy that you're continuing that, and that in the holiday they want to let you know that they are going to be there. They continue to be a part of these gatherings, not in physical form, but consciously they are there. Their consciousness remain, their consciousness continue, and they are there. And they're saying that this upcoming holidays, you're gonna feel their presence even more, because you're gonna look at a chair where they used to sit, and you're gonna feel that they really are still sitting there. And you're gonna see them move around in the kitchen or in the living room, in the family room, and you're gonna know that it's not just you thinking that they're there, that they are actually mingling and still there. I'm seeing paperworks and looks like legal matter. So some of you, there are some legal matters, legal things that you need to finalize, and that has to do with your family, however big that is, and whoever else is involved. But your loved ones is wanting to communicate that it's been a long process, but they're saying that it's going to be finalized before the end of the year. It will be finalized. It may not be finalized in a sense, to some it might not be finalized in a sense of document being filed or having a stamp of approval, but the decision part that involves, that allows the document to even be filed or approved, that part will be finalized, the decision part about it. So the part of loved ones is wanting to communicate that this is a year where before the end of the year, things are completing for you, and you will be able to move forward from things of the past that had caused for you to be here having to decide on legal matters in the first place. Some of you are thinking about trip to go before the end of the year, for some family bonding or family time, just to get some rest and de-stress. And your inspired loved ones is letting you know that this is a good idea. This is a good idea to, even if you don't move this year, to at least put the plan in place, the looking into the accommodation that you need, so that when you do it, you feel so much more at peace and you can really focus on the vacation piece about it. They're saying for those that doesn't feel like now is the right time to take heed into that, to listen to your intuition, not just go when you feel not peace about it, but you can still have the conversation about it. It seems like they are wanting to put an emphasis on the making a plan about spending time together. If you're already thinking about it anyway, it seems like they're wanting to also emphasize on the effort piece about it, that this is going to be advantageous for you and your family. It's something that you can share, the planning. Like, they're also wanting to remind you not to own the planning, like invite to plan with others and not you being the only person planning. So if this is just into immediate family, it's you, your husband, and your children, then planning with your husband. But if this is bigger, like a reunion type of kind of time together with relatives, to invite others to delegate the task so that you're not the only one planning and you're not the only one feeling all the stress of this. For those who do like planning and you actually want to control and take charge of everything, then if you are gifted in that sense, go for it. But still, there is bonding in the sharing of the task. So this is what I'm hearing your departed loved ones wanting to communicate and speak to you about. So that would be the message piece from this mediumship reading. Let me know how those resonated for you. Would love to connect with you and get to know you and share those moments with you. So we can transition to the grounding piece of this and look at your oracle cards. So we'll keep this one here for those who wants to tune into the crystal that will help you with grounding. Okay, so this one says realization number 3, and there's a door that with the key. It's a keyhole kind of door, showing 2 different time to me. It feels we have night and day. So this is 3. Oh yeah, it is 3. Yeah. So 3 is a number of community, and a lot of the message was speaking about that. So community, and I believe some of you are realizing the importance of that for you as it relates to your connection to your family. This one is goddess. The light attribute is the feminine expressed through wisdom, nature, life force, and sensuality. This feels specific to some. You may be channeling your inner goddess and inner femininity. There was a lot of feminine energy that came through actually too, right? Purification. Okay. This may be a purifying season and time for you and for your family. This one says the threshold. I'm hearing boundary. So for those who may need to establish boundary, or for those who may need to reinforce boundary, and as it relates to your family, for those who your family members, I remember now, your departed loved ones is reminding you how important it is to connect or to reconcile. You may need to understand the boundary and speak about it as you reconcile. Maybe some of you are feeling hindered because of that piece of it. My life is an experiment. I embrace the exploration. All right, let's pull you a couple of tea leaf. Psychic ability, trust your intuition. I believe I heard that earlier, to trust your intuition, right? You have the eye, you have the knowledge, the seeing, the knowing in your situation, the specific situation that you have. Okay, this one says bow. Bow? Yeah. You are highly thought of. Oh, that's sweet. We'll pull one more. Ladder. Climbing towards success. All right. Group 1, I appreciate you. I hope this brought some sense of comfort, clarity, and the closure that you may need today. Thank you so much once again for your presence and your community. This is your reading. Hello, Group 2. You wanted to hear from your mother who had passed on and deceased. This is the space we created for them to come through. And for those who just wanted to hear the message piece of the reading, you selected this Oracle Crystal. Let's have a look. This one is the Hiddenite. And the Oracle says, claim your happy place. All right, we'll put that towards here in the end. We have some Oracle towards the end as well that we'll look at for bouncing and grounding. We will start with the evidence for your mother to reveal themselves, that you can identify they are here. So we'll start with the connection point. So a mother who's coming through right now, if she's seems like she is a housewife, because she's showing me her putting up, like doing laundry. And she didn't show me washing machine, but she showed me like drying clothes outside on a rack. And it's just nice and sunny day. So it looks like this mother that's coming through is from, she doesn't seem like she's from the city. Is it rural place? So it looks like now I'm seeing her doing laundry by hand. So either she's passed on when she was young, she's passed on from is it a middle class? Doesn't seem like she came from a lot of money. It seems to me that she is a housewife and she just stayed at home the whole time. She didn't work. She wasn't a working mom. She was a housewife. But also you may connect to knowing her as one who is doing things by hand, because she's showing me she was doing laundry with her hands. That's how she was washing hands. So she feels like someone who is really hands-on. Really hands-on. I'm seeing the word DIY, so doing a lot of things in her own, like she creates her own ways. Do it yourself. Yeah. I'm seeing a mother with children all around her, young children around her. So one of the ones that's coming through is a mother who had passed on while her children were still young. While her children were still young. And she's also showing me that there is a mother who had passed on when she had the experience is flipped. It's the other way around. When she was young, her mother had passed on. So there's similar stories, but two different stories to each different mother that's coming through. There's a mother coming through and she's showing me her on a horse and doing a lot of things with the horse. So there's a mother that's coming through who has affinity for horse, who may even have tended to horses, have horses, for those who live in a farm. There's some memory of you, the one watching now. There's a memory of you watching Disney. Like it seems like your mother when you were growing up allowed you to watch a lot of like Disney movies. Snow White is the one she's showing me. But all of the princesses in Disney, and you showing me now even you dressing up. So if this is a memory that connects and relates to you, which also reminds, I'm being shown also that a mother who did indeed pass while you were still young continues to come through. A mother who has a strong faith. I'm being shown this infinity symbol with a necklace. It seems like a necklace. She has a necklace with infinity symbol who's been passed down. She, like, you have it now. It was given to you when your mother passed. An infinity necklace is what I'm seeing. But a mother of faith. Yeah, so she's showing me, she's now showing me her with Jesus. She's in a good place and she is with Jesus. That may be just what you needed to hear right now. But it could also be that that's how she talks. She talks a lot about her with Jesus. And you may be wondering if indeed she is now with Jesus, and that's what she is showing me. I feel like even my heart space and my feelings have shifted here. There's a lot of like joy and happiness. So this mother that's coming through now is the one who's, everybody sees her as like full of faith and full of joy. Like she just seems to like, do you ever have a bad day? She's very inspiring and encouraging and just carry a lot of light with her even when she was living. There's a mother that passed with an illness that is incurable. She eventually passed because of that, but also has a lot of faith. So it's like you could not even see, like you cannot even tell that she is carrying a incurable disease because her spirit just exudes. I'm hearing the word Nancy. So if your mother is Nancy and your name also maybe is Nancy, but I'm hearing the word Nancy and I'm seeing it written twice. So it seems like there's somebody with the name Nancy, and that Nancy exists twice in the family is what I'm seeing. There's also an emphasis on the name. There's an emphasis on the name because I'm seeing it now like flashing. So your mother doesn't have to have Nancy name, but your mother may have a flashy name. Any mother that has a flashy name or a name that seems like it's not common. It's not common. But also it's hard to forget. It's not common, but hard to forget. So these, once again, are connection point from the mothers who are coming through. There's a lot of them, so whoever I feel like I'm catching and I can share. But we're gonna transition now to the message piece of this reading. You may or may not connect to the connection point, but the reading that I am hearing. What does your motherhood passed on want to say and speak to you about? So there's a mother who recently passed, and she's showing me water, a lot of water, It's not a beach, but rocky places as well. There's like rocks in the water. And I'm hearing her talk about throw the ashes. So I'm going to leave that one to you. I believe that one's going to connect to those that it needs to connect to. But water, rocky places, rocks in the water. And she said, throw the ashes. I'm seeing footprints in the sand. And I'm hearing your mother say that I am still walking with you. I'm still walking with you and I am with you. I'm hearing your mother say that every time when you feel like you're alone, like seems like you like to pull away and you need time to pull away, but it's like it's a catch-22 because you need solitude, you need to pull away, but it also seems like you feel lonely often. It reminds you that your mother is gone or that you feel alone in the moment, and your mother is saying that in those moments, especially when you're thinking that your mother is gone, she's saying that she is there. You may feel her, or you may feel affirmed, even with this reading, that indeed you knew she was there, but there are times when you feel like you're not connecting and you can't connect. I also heard that she is going to send you, she's going to make her presence known. She's going to make her presence known. If you're open to any way she can make herself known, you'll know when she's making herself known, is what she's saying. If she welcomes, you can also request for ways for her to make herself known, but don't be disappointed when that's not how she comes through. Sometimes you're just not noticing it, and sometimes it's just not happening in that way. It's not in the environment that you're in. And she wants to make herself known sooner than when what you're asking for can come through, if that makes sense. But she'll make herself known is what I'm hearing your mother say. Some of you are questioning if you are, because for those that mother had passed while you were young, and now you are a mother yourself, and you're wishing, and the grief is, it seems like every time a new chapter happens in your life, the grief, you don't know if the grief is ever gonna go away, because it seems to strengthen every time there's a new chapter that you wish your mother was there to be able to see. She said she sees everything that has happened to you, but most recently you're asking if you as a mother, your mothering, your ways is, if she approves of it. And she's laughing like, oh, you silly, you like, I don't need to approve of it. But of course I approve your motherhood. I'm proud. Look at what and who you've become. You are a greater mother than I could ever wish, dream, and hope for you. Those kids are so loved, and those kids are growing with characters and wisdom because of how you are and what kind of a mother you are to them. There are those that are listening who you didn't have a relationship with your mother. Even when she's passed, it feels like it just affirmed that there wasn't anything there. But sometimes from time to time you question if she's thinking about you now that she's passed. From time to time, you question if she sees you, if she's present, and she's saying yes to all of it. That even if her consciousness when she was human didn't allow her, she didn't show up for you in the way that she could have, now she is. Not in physical form, but consciously she is there. She is still watching over you. She speaks to you through your gut feeling and intuition. That's how she's helping in a way and supporting you in a way that she could have if she was there. Like if she was alive, she said that maybe she could have called you, and you could have had conversations about certain things in your life. And now, not through physical phone, but through your gut feeling and intuition, she would call you and send signs to help you navigate life and help you navigate living, making decisions. Your mother is showing me you doing dishes or you doing chores and things in the kitchen. She's saying that she's over there hanging around with you when you are there. She's there hanging around with you when you are there. Those are a place where, as you are focused on what you're doing in the kitchen, that like you're in a different state of mind and consciousness, and you can connect with her. Also, if you have memories in the kitchen with her, that's a place where you can connect, is what she's saying. That's a place when it's easier for her to make herself known. Also, if your mother is one who, your mother as one who has good cooking, cooks a lot, loves to cook, those are places where you can connect with her. So really seems like your mother is wanting to highlight memories where you feel your emotions strongly. Memories with her. Memories that you cherish, that you love to remember and you love to think about, and it brings you back in that place. It's a connection point. It's a connection point with your mother. So this is the message from your departed deceased mother. So we can move on to the grounding piece of this reading. I appreciate each of you for your connection. Let me know in community. Let me know how this resonated for you. Would love to get to know you. So we'll put this here for those who wants to ground yourself with the crystal. The sword. I see a moon there, and then so I'm sensing here like a strengthening of the mind capacity and ability to discern truth from false, but also making decision is what I'm sensing. Mediator. Light attribute. Gift for negotiating fairness and strategy in personal and professional life. Respect for both sides of an argument. This one is also too. Mediator. I love that. So for those who maybe that's what you do as a job, or you are feeling like that's something that you need to embody this season, mediating for something and respecting, it says, both sides. It says you have a power. Whatever it is that you need to accomplish and do, you have the power to do so. Okay. 1 + 9 is 10. It's 19. It says balance. Ooh, I love the theme here about two things or holding two things. There's a lot of moon there. It also seems like you feeling balanced even in the ambiguity of situations and things. is what I'm sensing here. You having the ability to balance things out. Some of you, maybe it has to do with your children. Mediator being in the middle of two that may siblings, but also may have opposite personality. Okay. My life is courageous, creative adventure. Courageous, creative adventure. Number 53, 5 plus 3 is 8. Some of you may be 53. Your mother may have passed and she was 53. This may be a 53rd anniversary of your mother's wedding, if she was still alive to celebrate it. But she's saying, like, I'm alive, I'm still celebrating it. I'm alive in consciousness and spirit. She's saying, tell your father happy anniversary. Okay, month of the year, December. So for anything celebration or annual, it may be that's approaching December, but also I'm hearing like there is a celebration in December, a birthday in December, a special day in the month of December. So December is a big month. There are some revelation and unfolding that's going to take place that month. It feels like it's going to be a very enlightening month for you and your family. Kangaroo. Unsettled times, need to plan ahead. Okay. All right. So planning ahead. There's very few where the month of December could be unsettling time. There you go. Okay. This one says club. Club. Someone will try to make you do something against your will. Okay. So once again, there's a few where the December has something to do with you planning ahead of time for a situation where someone may want you to do something against your will. So I believe your mother is going to guide you during that trying times. But group 2, thank you so much for your community once again. I hope this reading had brought you the comfort, the clarity, and the closure that you may need today. This is your reading. Hello, group 3. For those who wanted to hear from their spouse, this is the space that we created to receive from them, to make themselves known. So welcome to your reading. Also, if you are drawn to the Oracle Crystal, if you just want to hear the message piece, your spouse may still be alive. So maybe you just want to hear the message, because spirit message can come through anybody. So this is the space for that. So let's see. You selected Emerald. The Oracle on this one says, point your heart toward grace. Point your heart toward grace. So we also have oracles that we will read towards the end, but we will go ahead and start with the connection point for the evidential mediumship. So seeking, wanting to hear from your spouse to reveal evidence of their presence here and to share things to validate themselves that they are here. So we will start with the connection point. So the first spouse that's coming forward is, and this can go for either or, because this reading is timeless. We're holding space for any spouse, both male and female, to come through. But the first one coming through is a male figure, masculine energy. It feels to me that your spouse is taller than you. That's how he's coming through. He's coming through as someone who is big, but also it seems like he holds a lot of responsibility. Responsibility in your family, but also in public standing. He holds a role that carries a lot of responsibility, not just title, but the actual responsibility piece. And it feels to me that this is something the two of you, he shared this with you. You know of this. You know how much burden he carried at work. There's also a spouse, a husband, there you go. A spouse, a husband coming through who the responsibility has weighed on him, which ultimately become a chronic stress. And then he passed on from something. But what he's pointing out to me right now, you may know this or you may have suspected this, that it rooted from just his body carrying a lot of stress that eventually created malfunction in his system. There is a husband coming through who passed on from an operation not succeeding. So he died in the hospital after an operation. There's a husband coming through, a spouse coming through who I'm feeling heavy with all that's coming through right now. There's a spouse that's coming through who seems like he was carrying a lot of unforgiveness with his parents, with his family, a lot of anger. So your family, and if it was just the two of you, it was the two of you. He seems to me that he also didn't want to be around your family, not because your family, he didn't like them, but it appears like he didn't, but it's because he was really, there was a lot of the disappointment and anger and unforgiveness and bitterness that is in his heart that doesn't really allow him to be open with others. You were his only family. I'm hearing him say you are his soulmate. And he knows that it was a lot for you, even with him not being there. He was saying that it would be even more a lot for him if you would have gone before him. You know this is what he's saying. There is a spouse, still male figure. There's a spouse coming through who, after his passing, you've had to file for bankruptcy. You have to take on a second job. There's a lot of financial burden now on you, and he wants to apologize about that. Before we even get into the message, he wants to say he is sorry that you have had to carry the burden that he was carrying. He's left you with 2 young children. still a male figure that's coming through. I'm seeing, so it feels to me that he is a tattoo artist. The emphasis that I'm being shown is the gloves and the needle. But it could also be the one that's coming through is someone who had a lot of tattoo. He had affinity for tattoo, collected tattoo, and has a lot of them. So he's showing it to me on his right arms. So he's showing me how he got a tattoo and then he passed. Not because of the tattoo, but just a timeline that you can identify with. There's a spouse that passed on, who's coming through. His job was an accountant. He was an accountant, something in finances, financial analyst, financial advisor, head fund manager. I think that's the title. I'm being shown there's a husband who wears glasses and he's saying that you haven't moved his glasses. It's so sweet. You haven't moved his glasses. He's showing me that it's still on his side of the nightstand table. And it's still there. And you haven't moved it. And you go to bed every night and you honor, and you still honor as if he's still there. So you know, like you have a connection with him. But he said you're not as verbal about talking to him. But you keep his presence welcome and alive in the house. So these are the spouse that are coming through. I notice it's mostly male figure that has come through. Maybe your spouse is female and you just want to hear a message from this group, even though there wasn't a connection point that you can identify with or connect to. So let's go ahead and move into the message piece from your spouse if you selected this reading because of the particular message. The first thing I'm hearing is a spouse is bringing you back who's left you with 2 children, that it's when you're ready, it's okay to move on, is what he's saying. That it's not a disloyalty to him at all. And he is showing me that there has somebody had already approached you, and you did not welcome it. You did not feel like you have time to even entertain and talk to anyone else because of your children and because you feel burdened that there's a lot to do. And he's saying that you don't have to do this flawless in the beginning, but at least allow anyone that has the right heart and intention to at least start with the conversation and then see where it goes. It doesn't have to go fast, really fast. It doesn't have to go too fast in the beginning. And you can just start with a conversation. But he is letting you know that it's okay to move on. It's okay to receive help. It's okay to ask for help. It's okay to be vulnerable. He also wants to let you know that because now you're working 2 jobs, or for those who feel like you're burdened with responsibility and you cannot always be there for your kids, you're not able to have eyes for them at all times, that may you feel comforted that as he lets you know that he is keeping an eye. He cannot intervene with every situation that is he cannot intervene with every situation, but you can feel comforted that he is at least watching. Like he would do what he can to influence decision that's happening real time, not change the decision, but somehow create influence your kids towards a decision that ultimately will be for the best of all. And he's also saying that there's other light beings that are watching over you and your children. God is watching over you. The universe and universal light is protecting you. You are protected. Your husband, your spouse, isn't the only one that, though he's not there, now you feel unsafe or alone, because there are love beings, light beings that is watching over you. There's conversations that you have. There's some of you that has a conversation that needs to be had, and it feels like an altercation, and so you are avoiding it. It seems like it has to do with like legal matters that needs to be settled. So he is not wanting to rush you, but he is saying that it needs to be done. It needs to be completed. And it has to be done this year. It has to be settled this year. Like you have time and he's not rushing you, but at the same time there is a deadline. It doesn't, you don't have a lot of time to, because what he's pointing to me is you procrastinating. It's you procrastinating is what he's pointing out to. So with procrastination comes wasting time as well, valuable times that are intended for this to be completed and fulfilled. He said you are gonna know what to do. There is directions and guidance around it the minute that you begin the process, but you do have to start the process. You cannot avoid it. It seems like it has to do with financial. So some of you who are having financial issues and problems, there are some things that you're delaying and did not want to do, but it's not going to disappear, the issue, the problem, with you not addressing it. It still needs to be addressed. There's a few who are wanting to take a trip somewhere, and you feel that there's going to be a different kind of connection there with your spouse. There's a few of you who are wanting and thinking, if I go here, if I take this trip. Some of you, there's a trip that you were planning with your spouse, and then after they pass, you just didn't get to do it. So somehow you feel that there's a different kind of contact and connection that will happen. in comparison to where you are right now. Some of you are feeling dry and like feel like you are not hearing or experiencing or feeling your spouse's presence unlike you were before. He's saying and she's saying, once again, the message piece, anybody can come through. They're saying that go ahead and take the trip if you'd like. In your heart's desire, yes, I will speak to you there, but be careful to associate that my presence is stronger in a certain place, in a certain experience than the day-to-day, because consciously I am here with you. I have not left, is what they're saying. I'm still here and I am speaking, and when you're here, you have more, it's challenging because the responsibility is here as well. So that it's challenging to experience them the way you would if you're moving in a location base. So he's saying also that it's intention. When you set an intention to hear or to experience, they're saying to give it a try, to set your intention here and experience, set a time to experience, as if you are setting an intention and a time and energy when you are traveling and when you're going there. But either way, go ahead if you feel like you have to fulfill the trip because it was something you were planning together, go for it. But also just be careful that you don't attach the experience of your spouse in a different location. Because they're saying that they are here now. So this is the message from your deceased spouse. Thank you so much for your community here, for engaging with me in the comment. I love getting to know you as we share our memory and grief and to heal as a community. So continue to tune into the oracle there to ground, and we'll continue to open the oracle here. This one says servant. Light attribute, delight in serving others with a free and loving heart. I love that. Looks like that's your heart right now. But I am hearing though to also make sure you take care of yourself, especially for those that are still having and experiencing the grief. This one says adventure. So as it relates to the last message, I guess you will be taking an adventure. Indeed, it seems like you've already made a decision and you're gonna go for it. So there it is. There it is. Okay, this one says pleasure. Ooh, I like that. Okay, well, yeah, as a reminder, take care of yourself. Maybe this adventure has something to do also with you prioritizing you and doing something that you need that will take care of you. The mountain. Okay, there's a theme here, right? Is the adventure going to the mountains? Is that the place? Wow, I like that. Okay, so you do have confirmation here to go ahead and go for it. Like your husband did, there's some male figure that's just really strong. So like what your spouse and your husband said is that just as long as you be careful to not identify the place as a place where there is contact. Okay, the universe has a plan greater than mine. Okay. For those who that is for, there it is. Universe is confirming. Let's pull you some tea leaf. Handshake. A meeting with a stranger could be important. So this travel, you may be meeting somebody else. You maybe are planning to travel to connect with your spouse, and you may be open, okay? Be open that your spouse may use that for you to meet someone else. Skull. Hidden secrets can harm you. Okay, we'll leave that one. Let that one speak by itself. What do we have here? Astral house. This one says success. I'll take this. Success for you. And oh yeah, some of you, your spouse talking about the financial. Looks like that legal. There was something with legal, right? Remember that I'm not a legal professional. So I read energy, and we did a mediumship reading here, but looks like there's some success there towards you. I think the success has to do with you ultimately saying, okay, well, I have to keep moving forward, and I can't get stuck here in the past and be weighed down by what's happening here. So group 3, thank you once again for your community. I hope this reading brought you the comfort, the clarity, and the closure that you may need today from your spouse. This is your reading. Let's seal this reading with love, with devotion, loyalty, and assurance. The connection line is never broken.